No time to waste, we shall start this episode with a little history lesson, using a terrible song that I've made for you. Once upon a time there was a little king and his little queen whom he fucked in the asshole. We don't really know that. Probably they didn't, but that doesn't really matter. One day he told his wife he wanted something good to eat, and they didn't have any servants. I guess it was a shit king. Anyway, she started making food. She made him a pancake, but she was unable to turn it around. And when she flipped it, she fucked it up. Now she had a fucked up pancake. So she just tore it up, and she gave him the torn pancake. And he was really happy. He loved it. It was wonderful. And he said, "Could you make it again?" And so there was the story of how to make a Kaiserschmarrn. Yeah, that was a little embarrassing, but it doesn't matter. Now let's begin. Normally in Austria you serve this Kaiserschmarrn pancake with a plum compote or like a plum jam or an applesauce or apple jam or whatever you want to call it. In Sweden we call it äppelmos. I don't know, and in the US you call it applesauce, I believe. Doesn't really matter. We will make a nice compote out of both this and that, because why not have both? Start by peeling apples. I'm using regular Swedish whatever apples that I picked from a tree. We have tons of these everywhere. You can use whatever apples you want. You cut the apples in normal sizes, and by normal sizes I mean like this. As for the plums, with the peel and everything, just remove the stone and cut it. You see, somewhere around this size. You put all the fruit in a saucepan, and then you take a vanilla pod and you open the vanilla pod like this and remove the seeds, and it smells amazing. I fucking love vanilla flavor and smell. And come on, buy a real vanilla pod. Don't use some shitty extract that I see in some English-speaking recipes. I put it all in here, including the pod, and some lemon juice. Now you see, if you use like Granny Smith apples or other sour apples with a lot of acidity in them, then you might not need so much lemon juice. But for this, I'm using about half a lemon. And if you accidentally put your lemon seeds in it or your penis in it, please remove it. Sugar, and mix it all up, and just on medium heat let it simmer. After a couple of minutes you see the juice coming out, and has this reddish tone. It's from the peel of the plums. It will get even more red as time goes by. After about 20 minutes it looks like this, and after about 45 minutes up to an hour it looks like this. You can see this wonderful sweet sauce. It smells absolutely amazing. Now set aside and let it cool. Now it is time for the pancake. This amazing pancake. It is made somewhat like an American pancake, but without any leaven in it, except mechanical leaven. I will show you what I mean in just a moment. So, separate eggs, put the yolk here, you put the white here. And into the yolk bowl, you put some sugar, milk, flour, through a sieve, come on, use a sieve, some salt, and you just mix this up. As for the egg whites, you need to really mix them up. Put some air in there so you get this thick, foam kind of white, as you can see here. It's full of air, and this is what you use for mechanical leaven, because these bubbles will grow and make it all nice in the texture. You can use this trick for anything you want to bake when you have eggs in it. Anyway, you incorporate the white into the yolk mixture, and you can take half of the white to begin with and slowly fold it in. It makes things easier, and then the other half and fold it in. And be very careful so you don't mix it up too much so you fuck up the bubbles. You don't want the bubbles to disappear. You really want this foam to have all the bubbles inside. And the original recipe calls for raisins. You can add raisins if you want to, or if you hate raisins, you don't put any raisins. You do whatever you want. It's like with your penis. Either you like the penis or you don't like the penis. Anyway, do it anyway you want. Now turn on the stove and make sure it's not too hot. If it's too hot, you will fuck up the pancakes in a bad way. You're supposed to fuck them up in a good way, but you will fuck them up in a bad way. So not too hot. You should be able to hold your hand like this and really feel the heat, but not too much so that you need to remove your hand. So not too hot. And when you put the butter, if it starts sizzling and becomes brown, then it's too hot. It should just melt and make a nice little sound of melted butter. Now put the batter in here and slowly heat it up, and after a couple of minutes it should be all have this golden brown color on the underside and look a little pale and matte up here. Now it's time to flip it, and you need to flip it carefully. It's very thick, very, very thick. So 1 spatula, 2 spatulas, you put them up under here, 1, 2, and 3, and you fuck it up just like the queen did. And you look at yourself in the mirror and you wonder why you woke up in the morning. I usually sleep with a knife under my pillow in case I wake up one morning and think, no, now it is time. It is time now. Anyway, none of this matters at all, because you're gonna fuck up the pancake anyway like this. You just tear it up like this, and then you fry these little pieces until they are all nice and fried all around. It doesn't take many minutes. Look at this, how nice it is. Look at this texture. This is a fucking wonderful Kaiserschmarrn piece of pancake. And now just bring a little plate up here, and you put the pancakes and you sprinkle some powdered sugar on top of it, and then you serve it with this amazing compote made from apples and plums and vanilla, and it's just wonderful. And then you just eat it like a motherfucker. This is so fucking good that I don't know how many dicks I would shove up my asshole just to eat this wonderful dessert.